let's do a quick run through of some fairly recent movies that I can't use clips from without getting arrested and thrown into Guantanamo for the heinous crime of copyright infringement. First up, Dead Silence, which was the first not Saw movie from the makers of Saw. Also, it's one of the worst horror movies ever put out by a major studio, in this case Universal. It borders on a Darkness Falls level of absurdity, which you might remember is the one about the Tooth Fairy. However, also like Darkness Falls, Dead Silence's saving grace is that it's technically a very well-made film. But story is what I value most in my movies, and Dead Silence fails to even come up with a premise that can be believable for more than a nanosecond. The film's main character is only allowed to live until the end for the sake of the audience, because in the context of the story, it doesn't make any sense for that character to live as long as he does. That's not good storytelling. The twists are predictable and the ending is obvious. Speaking of absurd, The Apparition certainly fits that description. In this case, however, the premise is actually interesting. The notion that a person is being haunted instead of a place is an idea worth exploring. But the apparition is just violently slapping you in the face with its stupidity over and over and over again, to where you have no choice but to just start laughing at it. And I'm almost positive that's not the reaction they were hoping for. There are numerous scenes where characters might as well just be yelling "Science! Science! Science!" at each other, since no one bothers to actually explain things, and instead a lot of jargon is just floated out for us, so we can say, huh, yeah, science things, that makes sense, okay, sure, yeah. My favorite scene in The Apparition comes when the girlfriend of the character being haunted learned the truth as to why everything in their house was trying to kill them by watching an old video of the initial incident. And her first reaction isn't, "You're the reason this is happening to us," but is instead, "Who is that woman in the video with you?" I appreciate the fact that Dark Castle Entertainment exists, and in theory, I like what they are trying to do, but aside from the opening scene in Ghost Ship, I'm not sure they've ever succeeded in making something I've enjoyed. That brings me to World War Z, Brad Pitt's mega blockbuster zombie apocalypse film. Now, I do like World War Z, let me just go ahead and get that out of the way. I like World War Z. But I like the individual components of it more than I do the film as a whole. I just don't get the sense that this was someone's vision. This was a nearly $200 million horror thriller action film written by committee, then rewritten by another committee. It feels episodic, but when you get to the end, you just don't feel like the overall story arc was worth it. Brad Pitt's character seems to be wearing a convenience badge of some sort that reads, "I am the hero, please grant me entrance to your home, plane, base, or country, because as stated above, I am the hero." Because for a world shown to be in this much chaos, he sure has an easy time getting in wherever he needs to go. Again, I don't dislike World War Z, I just wish it had been more cohesive. I mean, you give this genre both $200 million and Brad Pitt, and it's not a home run? That's just inconceivable to me.